Hello and welcome back to another patrol build episode. So, just been a super cheap. Went and got myself some connections. They are not really the ones I wanted. I want the ones that sort of like you heat it up and it's like the waterproofing and the solder all in like the one connection. Would have been ideal, but they were bloody expensive, so I'm going to buy some online and I'll have to wait for them to come. So today's fix will be that. Then I also went and got just a whole heap of knife blades. And so what we're going to do today, I'm gonna take a look at the tail light wiring because that's an item on my list, and then with the blades I'm gonna finish getting all this tint off. It's probably a bit hard to see. Oh, here we go, here's a good example. You can see I've like half done it here. I've done it on I think all the main windows except for the passenger side one, but yeah, so I'm gonna do that. I can't do any noisy jobs like finishing the rear bar because my old man's asleep, he's got night shift, so I've got to be quiet. So let's tackle the wiring and the tint. Okay, so here's the first issue with the tail lights. So as you can see, they're like flashing. So that's the indicator, that's meant to be the reverse, and that's the stop and tail. But when I have my park lights on, so they park lights off, it does that. But then whenever I turn that off, then just the indicator comes on. So, lovely stuff this. I think what's happened is, because there used to be a rear bar, and the reverse and indicator light is usually on the rear bar, but now that I bought these ones online, and so I've got all three on side because my other rear bar doesn't have spots for lights, so they have to be there. And when I've done it, I've joined the normal bottom light wiring to the earth of the top light wiring, and now it's just messed with all that. But it's weird because that side works normally, it's just this side. So that's the first item on today's list. Let's get it. Alrighty, there we have it. Look at that. They're all working now and they're all on at the same time, which is a good sign because before it was when they were all on is when it played up. And then that side, I've got the indicator on, like turning right only, because when you put the hazards on, it's actually a different circuit. But so it's on right only, but I noticed when I put it on left that I think that bulb's actually blown. But apart from that, I've got to change that globe, but now my tail light's normal again. So that's another job off the list. We're making progress. This is good. Let's keep going. So I just popped the globe out and had a quick look, and I did put a new one in there, but turns out that wasn't the issue. It's actually just because this wiring's like not where it's meant to be or something sitting funny. So I might just redo that connection and fix that just to make sure that's it. But then once I've done that, while I'm in the wiring mood, I think I might tackle the behemoth of a mess that this thing is and try and figure out why my driver switch won't work, the main one. Not impressed, but anyway, we'll get there. Alrighty, so I got my trusty book out to have a look at the wiring and whatnot and stuff. But it's strange because when you look at like the plug, so the driver window one, that's that one there, so it's this one on the back. The wires that come off of it, they all seem to go through this plug, but I think there's meant to be another plug like that. Doesn't go into anything that I'm aware of, but the colors that go into the motor, and I tested continuity from this plug up to here and they go straight through, so I'm not sure, like there's no other plugs on there and that doesn't match any of those two, so I don't know what's going on. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to run this pink cable that I've got here, I'm just going to put it straight on this basically, but I'm going to need all my hands because I need to use the switch while I'm holding it on there. And I'm going to see if the motor works, and then if that's the problem, I might just have to either figure out what's meant to be here because there's a plug missing, or I'll just hardwire it sort of like I have, but more properly. But yeah, I'm going to see if that works. That electrical stuff just, I don't know, I need some wisdom or some advice or some help. I don't know what's going on with that stuff. I'll have to figure that out when I'm fresh in mind. I had a uni exam this morning, so I'm not on top of my stuff at the moment. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to dig the patrol rear bar out, and there's some surface rust on it I think, so I'm just going to give it a good quick sand, and then I've got some like matte black, like epoxy metal cover stuff that like inhibits the corrosion. And as much as I wanted to paint all my bar work on my Patrol pink, I think I'm just going to make it black because it's going to be a lot easier to touch up with black stuff because like it's there to get scratched so that the car doesn't get scratched, so that's going to happen. So I think I might just do that. As much as I want to paint it the same color as, like, that used to be pink, like the bar work used to be pink, like that pink, but it's just faded because I didn't put any top coat over it. But I was going to paint it all that pink, but it'd be really annoying to touch up when I do that. So I'm going to pull the Patrol rear bar out, give it a quick sand, touch that up, and then I also went and got myself an S13 front bar. Bit off topic, but while I'm at it, I'm going to get the paint stripper out and take that all back, because as you can probably see, it's all flaky and crap. So instead of trying to level all that out, I'm just going to get rid of all the paint and start from scratch. So yeah, I might pull the S13 front bar out and that Patrol rear bar and work some magic. Yeah, see how that goes. Alrighty, so I just gave that a good coating all over. You can see it sort of already starts to work pretty damn quick, but I'll let it sit there for a bit longer and just settle off. And then our gurney's broken at the moment, but I'll just have to do the old thumb on the hose thing and just get as much of it off as possible. And yeah, I just pulled it away from my car and stuff because I don't want the water to splash onto it and start ruining the paint and everything else. So I thought that was pretty smart. While I'm waiting for that to sort of keep doing its thing, I'm gonna pull my rear bar out of the rubble and give that a sand while I'm at it, and probably take it over the back and give it a spray. Alrighty, it's been sitting there for probably like an hour now. I wonder where this will go. Oh, look at that. All that goldy colour's coming right off, but because of that, the undercolour, that silver, is sort of a different layer. Oh, I don't want to get in trouble. Hasn't quite gone through the whole lot of it, but ooh, air bubble. But hopefully that's enough, and I might be able to flake the rest of it off. Off it. But yeah. So I didn't end up getting around to touching the rear bar yesterday. However, I went down to the shed early in the morning and got to it. Just started putting some of the older stuff back into my car, like the fridge that you can see there, and the solar panel and stuff will go in as well, just to make a bit more room down in the shed as well, because it's getting quite packed with just stuff lying around everywhere. So I'm just rearranging all that, put my fridge straps back on, tying it down to my slide properly. Homemade slide, that, pretty proud of that. And yeah, pop the solar panel in, and then just making some room, and then I'm gonna start removing the old tint. So I'm looking for my heat gun, couldn't find it, took me a while. There it is, bingo. And yeah, got the old degreaser knife and heat gun, and she's peeling right off. Well, look at that. You can actually see through the rear now. Isn't that awesome? Nice and clean. I've still got to do this quarter bit here and the other side. The other side and the other quarter bit, but that door doesn't open and it's on the inside, and I don't want to get all the stuff in my car, so I'll have to wait till I fix the door and then do that side. But yeah, I did that. Also the rear light bit that normally sits there, all of the tabs have like snapped off and fatigued, so I've just plastic welded that back on. I'm just waiting for that to set and then I'll put that back in. But yeah, done that. I just finished putting the weather shields on as well, which is mint. So you would have seen me cutting them. So the front ones, because this is a was it ST model or something? Yeah, ST. It has electric windows. Normally mine broke, so I've got crappy ones, but you can see like normally they'll run the whole way down, and if we look at the other one, you might not be able to see it from here, but the mirror actually is like back here on the door instead of on the corner there. So with these I had to cut them to make them fit better. But yeah, got the weather shields done. So I think next on the list, I'm not allowed to make too much noise, otherwise I'd keep going with the rear bar. But my old man's asleep after his night shift, so I might figure out this, install me UHF stuff, see what the go is there. Alrighty, so I've got a fair bit more done. Got the aerial mounted. I ran the cable nice and tidy all the way through the engine bay, and then poked her in under here, and it's coming out here, and I'm probably going to mount this to the dash. I don't have an actual bracket for it. I just found this bit of bar that I can sort of mold. I was just going to use that, but I'm going to go to Super Cheap and see if they've got anything proper. I also need the handle to hold the actual walkie on, and then while I'm there I'm going to try and get some polishing balls just to help me take the last flaky paint off of the S13 bar as well. Alrighty, back from Super Cheap, got myself a nice big container. I'll show you what that's for in a moment. Got myself some scissors because I keep finding that I'm using my old man's too much, so I got my own. Got some WD-40s, my slack ass brother didn't replace mine after he used it all. Now I got this as well, so this is like a paint strip removal wheel, or a caramel wheel. I'm going to try that on that S13 front bumper and see what happens. See if it'll get rid of that flaky leftover paint. Got my CB radio clip, and then I got a few different polishing balls also to hopefully get that flaky paint, the last of that paint off that S13 bar. And there's my signature. Lovely. But yeah, so, oh, and then yeah, this. So, what I've done, got me nice little bucket down here. So I used to have like these containers all lined up the back here, but the skirting on the roof isn't done properly, so the rain comes down and those are all filled and all my bolts got rusty. And so what I did is I bought that stuff, CRC Evaporust stuff, and you soak it in there. It just says soak, it actually doesn't say how long, but I did a little test run on some stuff overnight and it worked good, but it wasn't quite done. So these ones have been sitting here for like 2 days now. And so what I'm going to do now is just give them a good, you basically just wash them off with water and then dry them and rust be gone. And then instead of just making the same mistake and putting them back in those containers, I'm going to, well, I've upgraded all my storage stuff, got heaps of containers now, all sorted out, but had to get a big doggy for all the big doggy bolts. So here's all my random bolts and stuff after wash up and after sitting in. See, I think it was sitting in that rust stuff for basically probably about 30 hours. It was like 2 overnights, but I put them in one afternoon. So yeah, a long time. And it's a bit hard for you guys to know what they started as, but I think I took a photo. So I'll show you the photo now. And as you can see, that they've come a long way, because now there's not a speck of orange anywhere. And like the threads are still a bit grainy, but after you give them a wipe out, like the last stuff sort of comes off with a good wipe. But yeah, that's the process. So you just soak it in that CRC stuff, wash it out, and then like these have come up really good. These were covered in surface rust, and that's like mint now. Although, is that bare? I might have to paint that or something. I don't know, but yeah, I'm pretty stoked with that. Pretty happy with that. But yeah, bolt transformation, would recommend. That is good stuff. so taking this off because I've got to give this power and stuff, so I'm going to tap in behind here. But while I've got all this out, while I've got the head unit out, I might take that apart because one of the little cogs that helps the CD player like slide the discs in and out has fallen out and disappeared, but I stole one from another old Pioneer head unit I've got. Should be the right one, so I might take that out and fix it while I'm here, because there's no point putting it all back together just to take it apart again soon. So here's the head unit pulled apart in all its glory. Now I've got these, I just have these angle bits sitting here holding, that's the CD part, because when you take the lid off, well, you need to take that off the lid sort of thing, it's separate. But yeah, so on the side here, oh no, where's the other one? I wonder, I can't tell, but there's two knobs under this little flat bit here. And one of them's this small one, which I ripped out of another head unit. But there's meant to be another one, but I wouldn't have put the other one back in because it would have just fallen out because it didn't have tension on. Oh no, now I've got to dig around and find the other one. Oh, what have I done to myself? If not, I've got another Pioneer head unit, I might have to pull that apart. But yeah, so that there is a big long cog system, and it just moves this bar which rolls the CDs in and out. But yeah, so I'm glad that I'm fixing this now as well. Get another job off the list. Well, I have dug out my bench, my toolkit, and I've had a look through Dad's shed, even the kitchen bench. I swear I've seen the cog I'm missing lying around somewhere, but I cannot find it for the life of me. So I'm not going to worry about it for now. I've already emailed Pioneer spare parts. I doubt it's even something they're going to have. I'm probably just going to have to wait for a damaged unit to come through work and try and steal it out. Anyway, I think I might reassemble the head unit for now, and then I might try and wire in the UHF thing. Gonna continue to wire that in, and then I'm just gonna put the head unit back in for now, and I'll just get that all sorted because I don't think I won't get the part for that for ages. So I'll do that, but I think that'll be it for tonight because the boys are on at the pub. Head unit equals reassembled, and now I play the fun game of let's find a wire to tap into to get power for the UHF. Fun, fun, fun. Well, would you look at what we have here. Panels all back together, head units in, CBs in, and works when you want it to. Like this. Head units working as well. Bloody beautiful. So I think that's it for tonight. That'll be it for episode 2 as well. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more updates and more patrol shenanigans. But yeah, the boys are on at the pub, so cheers. Have a good night.